Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the Morning. 15 minutes to change, Mitzvah Hashem, to change our lives. So we end off the first part of the Sikha, all about the Menorah, and recognizing that all the Jewish people were all together in Menorah, and everyone has their own branch. We have to find what's that branch, what am I giving? What's my contribution to the Tachlis Kavanah? And we have to find, and that contribution is something that we have special, and that specialness that we have to bring it. We have to bring it up, and ultimately we all have this. And as the Rebbe said, the result is the same. Trying to make a Dir Elohim Baruch, a dwelling place for Hashem through obviously Israel, but the way to get there is very different for a person that has a chesed. For in simple, an introvert, is the way they're going to express this idea is very different than an extrovert. And there's so many different types of levels and different types of ways of expressing it. A person that's very into learning is going to express it very differently than a person who's very into mivtayim. Or a person into music is going to express it very differently than a person into computers. So the way comes very different, but the end is all the same. And then we talk also about Aaron. Then Aaron wants to connect to people, and that's what we're going to continue talking about today. How he's ready to Shalom, Makavan Torah. That because he loved them, he want to bring them closer to Torah. And again, that's the same we discussed about the fact that we get our kids to do things because we love them, not we love them because they do things. And it's a very important discussion. So let's continue. Say that Afas Mayanis Chutzah. So how do we do Afas Mayanis? How do we spread Chassidus? How do we spread Yiddishkeit? How does it all work? What's the basis? And this is what the Rebbe is telling us. So you're going to say to yourself, I don't know what's it going to do with me. I don't go miftayim every week or whatever it is. Whatever we're going to say to ourselves, the fact that we're learning this, it means it's for us. And we have to figure out how do we apply it to our situation. It's not that we're waiting until the people that are on the level of chutzah, the outside, they're going to come to us. They'll come to the mayanos, the wellspring. Let's say Yafutza will spread out the mayanesecha, the wellspring, chutza outward. Let's say chutza to go out, v'sham hafitz mayanos, and there spread out the wellsprings. Just to make sure we all understand that Yafutza mayanesecha chutza was the answer that Mashiach gave to Vashem. Vashem asked Mashiach, when is Mashiach coming? And he answered him, when your wellsprings will spread out the chutzah. Now, in the Chassidus and other places, so here the Rebbe is clearly talking about chutzah outside in the world. This sikha was said in Tashin Yud Zayin. Yeah, it was 1957. She was talking about like in the streets, going out. But even then, there's no mitzvah tefillin or something. So he meant like the Jewish people around you. But another place chutzah means the most chutzah place within you. And what is that? That is our seichel. That the seichel can be the most chutzah. So let's see. Haderech zu yisayda b'Aaron HaKohen, and the foundation of this was Aaron HaKohen. This idea is Aaron, connecting what we said before. Because Shalom Nemar about Aaron HaKohen, it says, Oyev Shalom, Oyev Shalom, Oyev is a bris Mekavan Torah. It's a very special thing about Aaron, and it's very meduik. It's very exact. It says that Aaron was Oyev Shalom, he loved peace. Oyev Shalom, he chased after peace. Oyev is a bris, he loved creations. Mekavan Torah, and brings them closer to Torah. So we're gonna discuss exactly what this means. So you have Aaron loy him to Nachi Avoy love. He didn't wait till they came to him. Ella hiktim v'halach lehem aleim. He went, he initiated. Yeah. Oyev Shalom is bris Mekavan Torah. Rate of Shalom, he chased his peace. He went out of his way to go to them. It's like the discussion we had, we talked about last week, that sometimes, and you hear this in Baal Tshuva Shivas, and this is the question we have for ourselves. Do I have time to help other people? I'm busy with myself. See, Aaron, he went out of his way. That's what we should also be doing. And he went, not just he went out of his way, but where did he go out of his way to? To the bris, which is the people, that they have no advantage, nothing special about them. There's no redeeming factor besides the fact that they are a bria, they are a creation. Brie HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the creations of Hashem. Gam Alehem Halach Aaron. Also to them he went out of his way trying to bring closer to Torah. And like we said yesterday, not because of anything more, but the fact that he loved them. Because he loved them, he wanted to bring them close. But what does it say? What is the language that is used? That he brings them close to the Torah. Meaning, who kirvam elater, he brought them to the Torah. It's not that he brought the Torah to them. Limreis Japana Labris, even though he went to the bris, he went to the people, the lowest people. He didn't give Torah according to their spirits, according to where they were holding. Meaning he didn't water down the Torah. I didn't make any like coolers and any shady things when it comes to Torah. He didn't bring Torah to the spirit of those people that he was speaking to. He brought them close to the Torah. Torah Tzimima, the pure Torah, commercial as it is. It's a simple example of this is, so I'm finishing to learn chassan classes to become a chassan teacher. So one of the discussions they talk about, especially when you're teaching people that answer from, they say, the story goes that there was a Chabad house, I don't know what it was, and I don't know how the whole story came about. And basically, he had he would carry all these people. He had a shul full of kapata balabatim that he made, and somehow they found out about a concept of archakis, and they were like, "What's this? We never heard this." Or no, I think it wasn't archakis. It was a calendar. It was a calendar. When you get married, you have to have a calendar. You have to write down dates, whatever it is. And they didn't know about it. Like, what is this? We've been from for 20 years. We don't know anything about a calendar. No one told us about a calendar. And this is what the Rebbe is negating. It shouldn't be this way. You have to tell them everything. And so they said, they teach people that are not even, the person is not even shayach, keeping any of the laws or the minimal amounts, not even. That's barely what I do. Because we teach them everything. You got to teach them everything. And this is what we're saying here. So the Rebbe is saying, the Rebbe is stressing this. And this is a very fundamental point because we think to ourselves, they're not going to not take everything anyway. You're going to turn them off. You have to be like Aaron. You care about them, you love them, and when you can teach them what it is, the truth. You say, listen, I understand, maybe not holding this level, but I want to, I care about you, and I want you to know it's true. It's like I heard the story about the shliach on campus that he had a balabas, not a balabas, he had an alumni, and the story goes that the alumni called him a few years after, and he goes, Rabbi, wanted to wish you, I say, I have good news. Baruch Hashem. He didn't say Baruch Hashem, but he said, I had a baby boy and I'm making a bris. He's like, oh, Malta, I want the baby boy, no? He told him it was 6 days ago. I'm having the bris tomorrow. He's like, the 7th day? And he's like, yeah. He goes, timing wise, it works out this way. So the shach was like, 7th day, never heard that before. So he's like, let me find out. So he finished talking to them. He called Moelim, called the Rabbanim, and everyone's like, no, you can't do it. 7 days, it doesn't work. So he's like, how am I going to speak to this guy? So he did exactly what Aaron did. It was Raid of Shalom, Ovis of Bris, and so he went and he called him up and he said, I remember the guy's name, he's Matt. He's like, Matt, how are you doing? He's like, good. He's like, Matt, they know I love you and I care about you. Yeah? And he goes, yeah, of course, Rabbi, you for sure. So he goes like, I just want you to know, because it's important, that really making a bris can't be on the 7th day. It's like, it's not possible. So maybe you can extend it, your party can be a little later. So, no, I organize everything. The party can't change it. So he says, listen, I'm willing, I'll take care of everything. I'll get the mail and I'll get everything that's needed. And you do it tomorrow. Because I'll take care of it. I'll come out there. It was like a 2 or 4 hour drive. Because I'll manage everything. But like, I want you to know the truth is that the right thing to do is to do it on the 8th day. So basically, if I remember correctly, the guy, he kept his party and he goes, we're not doing the bris today. We're just going to celebrate this party. He goes, but tomorrow we're going to do the bris. And I'm doing the bris with the family on the 8th day, as meant to be. And in the end, his wife said, this was the most meaningful experience. I'm so happy we didn't do it on the 7th day with all that party, and we did this family union, family event. What we see is that he didn't bring the Torah to them; he brought them to the Torah. And so too, when we see something, and it's hard; it's not easy to all say something. So you have to have darch noam, darch shalom, like Aaron. You have to be very sensitive, but you have to make sure you don't diminish the standards of Torah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Base. Musada and base. But Akudas, that's so interesting. But Nakudas have Avidas Shel Aaron, the essential idea of Aaron's Aveda, Rumaz is Pasha Shavua, Balechas Aneris. We see Aaron's Aveda like in the candles, in the menorah. There's some Ramazim, like I said before. The candles are like the neshama, the candles of the menorah. It's like the neshama of a yid. Like it says, the light of Hashem, the candle of Hashem is the neshama of a person. In general, we have 7 types of yidden. Like we said yesterday. Look at the ten as is explained in Kutei Torah, Shezeu Inyan Shivas Haneres Hamanera, which is the 7 branches of the Manera. Va'avodas Aaron Hayes, and what was Aaron's job? Hadlakas Haneres V'halasam. Aaron's job was to light the Manera. Ukachal Ish Yisrael Yeshna Neraliki, and every single year, like we said before, has a godly spark, godly light. We have a candle. It's not lit, it's extinguished. And Aaron's job was to light him up, to make him shine. Everyone has the candle, we all have a candle, and his job is to light it up. The famous story that someone came to the Rebbe in Yechidus, I forgot his name, and he asked him, what's the job of a Rebbe? The Rebbe said, is to this var to light up people, to give people the ability to shine themselves. So he goes, did you light me up? So the Rebbe says, I gave you the match. Your job is to spark it. And I think that's what the Rebbe said, like that was his job. His job is to help you find the light. But you have to do it yourself. Very, very Chabad. Yeah, v'chol kach Paul Aaron begilin neshamis. Yeah, v'chol Paul Aaron begilin nishmasay. Shekol Yehudi Aaron affected the neshama of Yid so much, achetehei shal heves oile me'alel, until the flame itself lights by itself. And this is a very important point, that it's not just, and this is really the foundation of Chabad Chassidus, that it wasn't just that Aaron lit the neshama. Aaron's job was to get a person to become his own, have their own ability to keep themselves lit. I'll tell you a story very soon about this. All the time that the light needs iron to keep it a light, just like you have, let's say, a candle or something, and the only way it's staying lit is when you're holding it there. That's not the purpose, and that means it didn't reach. Person always needs you, and you didn't really transform. You didn't really affect them the way it's supposed to be. The avoda is to make it to the extent that it's going to light by itself. And when you don't need iron anymore, It shines by itself. You know, when the flame walks, then when you can take your flame away and it's still shining. And that's the job. There's a story I heard from a rabbi that he wasn't always Lubavitch. And we'll finish off with this. And he said that when did he know become Lubavitcher? He said he went to Eretz Yisrael and he was learning different yeshivas. And he was getting exposed to different things. And he was exposed to Chassidus and Chabad Chassidus. And he was getting interested. He liked it. So one Friday night, he's walking in Mea Shearim towards the Kikar Shabbos, I think it's called. That's like intersection. And he's with his friends. And they said, no, so which tish are we going to tonight? Like where we're going to go get ourselves an inspiration. They didn't say those words, but that's what the meaning behind them. Where we're going to go get excited. And he said to himself, he said out loud, he goes, I think I'm going to go learn some Tanya. And then once he said that, he goes, oh, I became a Lubavitcher. And he explained what happened. When he said that, what had happened is this Shalhev is Olim Aleh. Chabad Chassidus, and this is what the Rebbe is saying here, and this is what Aaron was about. The ultimate is that the person becomes their own giver, their own flame. They're just receivers, but they come and give. And realizing that you can inspire yourself. Before, like in the case of this story, before that incident, he was looking for inspiration. He always needed Aaron to light him. He didn't have the light himself. It was always dependent on Aaron. And what happened when he said to himself, for me to get inspired, I can learn, I can do it to myself. Then it was Shalheves Aleh Meleh. That it was, that the flame was lighting by itself. And this is a very important foundation. We've got to finish up, that we have to remember for all of ourselves that the ultimate goal is that we can light ourselves up. We know how to get ourselves connected and inspired. We're having a hard day. We don't need to go somewhere external. You just take a sefer, you can learn and inspire yourself. Or you can think about something that you learned and make it inspire yourself. And that's really the effort. And the job is that when we talk to other people, so first what we're seeing here, we have to spread the wellsprings, to spread chutza within us. That even with us, our chutza, the parts of us that are not connected, even that should feel connected to Elokus. And the people around us, when we talk, we should have discussions about torah and mitzvahs and about chassidus. And like we see about Aaron, it has to be, of course, in a loving way, and of course, in a way it's not diminishing. Someone says something to you that's against Torah, in a loving way, you should say, I appreciate your opinion, but just, we have to understand that this is not according to Torah. And ultimately, we have to inspire ourselves and inspire others that they themselves are inspired, and they can inspire themselves. Mitzvah Hashem to be continued. Tomorrow, have an amazing day.